What is the role of religion in a post-secular modern world? The news story that's inspired this episode of The Trews is Mark Zuckerberg, who, let's face it now, is one of the most powerful people on the planet. After initially saying he was an atheist, has now said religion is very important. Zuckerberg revealed his change of heart by saying Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. When a commentator asked him, aren't you an atheist? He responded, no, I was raised Jewish and I went through a period where I questioned things. Now I believe religion is very important. And I am inclined to agree with Mark Zuckerberg, because we do need to have some structure towards our belief and some structure with how our inner world relates to the outer world. I suppose the big argument is reality just material, mechanical, that which can be weighed and measured, or is there an idealistic, that means non-material, idea-based form to reality? Well, there isn't there, because all of us live in our own heads and live in our own consciousness. Of course we live in the world, but I'm not, while I'm in this room, thinking, oh, here's a wall, here's an object, here's a chair. I'm thinking about my own conscious relationship to those things. And what is the forum, the social sphere in which all of these consciousnesses intersect? What are our codes? What are our contracts? When you strip away, for example, the role of Christianity in Western democracies, what are you left with? How do people interface with one another? Who is providing the moral barometers? Well, I'll tell you now, it's obviously the powerful, the big businesses, them what dominate. The story that we wanted to interpose and compare the Zuckerberg announcement or utterance with is the rise of fantasy films. What is the role of cinema? Filmmakers like David Lynch, at least, seem to understand that it's closely correlated to our dream life. I've heard it said that we don't only dream when we're asleep, we dream when we're awake too. All the time you're in your mind going, oh no, what shall I do about that? Oh, that was a bad thing when that happened when I was a little boy. I wonder if I'll ever see him again. Should I have done that? What if that happens? You are constantly speculating and building ideas, structures and patterns within your own consciousness that you don't really even feel like the author of. It just feels like a meteorological system passing continually through your mind. Well, fantasy films in particular, I suppose, provide a format upon which to project your role as the conscious hero of your own life, the author, the experiencer of your own existence. Look at the fantasy films that have done well in 2016. Of the top 20 in America, there are only 2 non-fantasy titles. In Britain, there are only 4. Let's have a look at some of those top 20 films in America. 1, Finding Dory.
My family! They're out there somewhere. I have to find them.
Pure evil. No, it's probably brilliant. 2, Captain America Civil War.
Final warning. I could do this all day.
And then Star Wars, which of course drew heavily from the work of Joseph Campbell, the mythologist who found a universalism in mythologies, meaning like the religions and folktales of the world, of course all coming from human consciousness or the human psyche, have common themes. We're all worried about death, we're all worried about whether or not we can be born again or renew ourselves or have real connections. In this time where our churches are emptying, as Damien Walter from The Guardian said, and our cinemas are filling, is it that we're simply exchanging one belief system of religion to another one of fantasy?
We have hope. Rebellions are built on hope.
This is a good quote from C.S. Lewis. The only people who hate escapism are jailers. And I suppose that's because Damien Walter, the Guardian columnist, is saying that these fantasy cinema is about escape. But I don't think it is about escape. I think it's about connection. People want to have a real and authentic connection with and a search for meaning and purpose. While C.S. Lewis is perhaps most famous for the Narnia Chronicles, C.S. Lewis also wrote a great deal about Christianity. Having earlier been an atheist, he himself became a deeply Christian man. And one of the things I most liked about what C.S. Lewis wrote was that he says, we all know that there is such a thing as being nice, don't you? Like something tells you, if you sort of go, I think I'll steal that, another voice goes, don't steal it. And you have to go to that voice, shut up, it's fine that I'm stealing this, I should be doing it, they steal from me, right? And he's saying that very impulse is not the result of inculcation, indoctrination or socialization. It's simply something in you, something in your essence knows what goodness is and indeed compels you to be good. C.S. Lewis argues brilliantly in his book Mere Christianity that that is the God essence. And I suppose those messages stripped away because of the corruption in, church and the confusion around violence in religion and people using it to dominate, control, marginalise and malign certain groups, means that the essential core messages of religion of life beyond death, meaning, in my view, consciousness beyond material, and fraternity and brotherhood between all of mankind, meaning our individualism is only an illusion and that we're all one. We are, as Bill Hicks said, one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. Those messages are lost because those messages are not helpful if all you want to do is sell people like Kit Kats and Peugeots. You don't want them thinking, well, I'm just consciousness, I won't bother buying a Peugeot. This consciousness don't need a Peugeot. You have to go, you do bloody need a Peugeot. Why is Mark Zuckerberg acknowledging that religion is important again, and why are we watching fantastic and mysterious and mystical films? Well, I believe it's because reality, just seen in the material, mechanical sense, is not fulfilling. It will never fulfill us because all of us know that we live primarily inside our heads, inside our own consciousness, inside our hearts, inside our own emotions. We don't live in our car. That's why when you get a new car, only about 10 minutes, you think, oh, a minute, this hasn't done anything. I'm still the same. Oh, this jacket, I really love this long zip that it's got, but that actually is not making me feel any better about the fact that one day I'm going to die. What are you going to do? Zip up death into your pocket and live forever? No, you're not, because you're going to die. So you better come to terms with those ideas. What about the fact that I've just had a new baby? Still gonna die. Zip, still gonna die. Right, well then I'm gonna have to escape from that reality. Now, you don't want to be escaping or immersing yourself in alternate realities. You want to be embracing and accepting this reality, and to do that you need a consensual framework by which we all agree what it is we're experiencing as human beings. That is, we are experiencing love, fragility, emotions that we're not so happy with, like anger, jealousy, hatred, rage, all of those, and we need a consensus on how to contend with that. Now, if the only way we can do it is by watching Star Wars or Harry Potter, then we'll take it because the hunger, the need is so great. But as Mark Zuckerberg says, religion is a very important thing. As we are witnessing, these ideas are entering into the mainstream conversation. Perhaps they never really even went away, a brief blip around industrialization and the technological revolution, but these ideas are back, and we better find new ways of understanding our mortality. We better find new ways of understanding our oneness, because if we don't, I think it's going to be rather a desperate time for all of us, and we'll probably destroy the planet and start electing really weird people into really important jobs. Luckily, it's not got to that point yet. That was some true news. Subscribe here if you want to, but if you don't, it ultimately, it will not matter because I'll still die.
Is a tool that is abused to fool you and to leave you scared and confused. Trews is like the news. If the news was true, I want some Trews. Let's have some Trews.